people of YouTube, my name is Steve Gray and thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 25. The season finale for Season 5, I believe. I do not think we are getting an Episode 26. Don't fret though, we are getting 6th season at some point. Like, that is known for a fact. There have been Season 6 leaks, so if you were excited about this season, unlike me, minus like the last 10 episodes, or maybe more like 9 episodes, then we should be good to go. I'm hoping they do Season 6 justice. I don't know. I know a little bit about the storyline. I haven't personally read the manga myself, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. That's all I can say about that, is we'll just have to wait and see. I think I liked the first part of this episode before the actual intro better than the rest of the episode. So like the pre-intro, if you would call it. The reason I say that is because we get to see Hawks, in the Paranormal Liberation Army, kind of trying to get more information little by little, trying to warm up to all the lieutenants. And he was like, crap, this is really bad now. Now Shigaraki has full control over this. He's going to let them run rampant and do whatever they want based on what he said. And we are going to have a huge freaking fight on our hands. And that's exactly what is going to happen. Shigaraki then goes to see the doctor, who plans to make him even more powerful. Apparently, whatever this upgrade was, this is the one thing that didn't go as planned for All for One, but Shigaraki has the ability to take it in. We learn that Shigaraki's new powers, while I guess extremely powerful, greatly damage his body. We get a close-up of his arm. It's all cracked up and shattered, and the contrast is, if you go back and take a look at every time Deku used One for All, at full power, it's very similar. His arm is beat up and battered and shattered, can barely use it. There's cracks running down it from his decay quirk. And right now, he is just a mess. There's not really a coming back from that. He has done permanent damage. However, because there's a crazy doctor that can make Nomu, he can definitely give him a healing quirk. So Shigaraki is definitely going to get a healing quirk. I don't know what other quirks he's going to end up getting, but there's definitely going to be a healing factor. We got in the previous episode him on the table with that giant crazy tube going into him. The doctor basically said, yeah, you're going to be going through about 4 months of extreme searing pain, and then you are going to kind of come out a beautiful butterfly. They did the imagery of a caterpillar going into a cocoon, turning into a butterfly. So that's kind of terrifying. Shigaraki has already grown into his own, gotten a lot stronger with his quirk, and now it's going to get even more powerful. He's probably going to have healing attributes, as some of the Nomu have. We know they can regenerate, so I can guarantee you he is also going to get that factor as well. Moving on from that, then we go into this little sequence where all the students are showing off some of their abilities during the work study, and I felt it was kind of unnecessary for the episode. We didn't need this final recap because we know we're going to get one when Season 6 comes out. They always start with a recap. They always introduce you to all the different characters again, tell you what their quirks are, their abilities are. So it was kind of unnecessary in my opinion, because that's exactly what they did. They went through all of Class 1A, talked about the heroes they did the work study with, had them show off their abilities, and they were just having a good time showing off against the giant death robots. Kirishima and Mina had a little bit of a moment, so they might be a couple at some point in the future, who knows. Uraka and Deku had their little moment too. Again, we already know that's going to happen, but Shonen Protagonist, I might do a separate video about the Shonen Protagonist, if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, because we all know that ain't going to happen until the end of the show, as it does every single time with the Shonen anime, which I think is kind of hilarious. But moving on from that, we get a meeting with All Might and Bakugo and Deku, Midoriya, Izuku, whatever you want to call him. And we learn that All Might has actually figured out some of the past users' quirks. And the next quirk that he wants Deku to try to figure out is Float. Apparently, his master, so All Might's master, she had her own ability called Float, which I'm guessing it sounds similar to Uraraka's ability, where you can float, and Bakugo is like, haha, I can already float with my explosions. Now you have to play catch-up. This is hilarious. They were going back and forth quite a bit with that. And then Deku was like, I'm going to master it, blah, blah, blah. He's giving him some of it back. So it's kind of nice to see their relationship growing as well throughout the series, as opposed to, him not even being able to have a conversation with Bakugo. We also learned that Eri's horn is acting up again. I think that is foreshadowing to Lemillion hopefully getting his abilities back. Her horn was getting bigger. There's like little electric bolts coming off of it. So I'm hoping that is foreshadowing that Lemillion is going to get his abilities back. Aizawa said that he was going to start her training next week because her, the horn is growing back, so she's feeling weird. Her quirk's going to activate soon. There's going to be some sort of problem in the foreseeable future, and we will want Lemillion right there so that way she can control it and give him his abilities back, which would be really cool. The only thing is I hope they kind of nerf her quirk to a certain extent. The reason I say that is because all of the damage that Deku sustained to kind of build his character to his arms, which is why now he primarily uses his legs, theoretically, she could reverse all of it. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but if anybody gets a hold of her, good or evil, like evil, they can just constantly heal their army. Good, it doesn't matter how beat up or close to death they get, because they can literally just reverse it in time. They could be dead. They could literally be dead, similar to Overhaul's ability, where he can deassemble and reassemble. They could literally be dead, and then he could just reverse it and then be good to go. It's I hope it gets nerfed to a certain extent where she can only use it once so many times, because it takes a while for the horn to grow back to its full capacity. So my guess is that it's one of those things where, yes, she can use it and knows how to control it. However, you have to wait for a long time for that ability to power back up to be able to use it. I'm talking like maybe like 2 or 3 month gaps in between time periods. We know that we're still in the first year. After 5 seasons, we are still in the first year. That I didn't even realize. I thought we were in the second year at this point, but no. We are in the final semester of the first year. They said that there's only 3 months left, and then they're going to have underclasses. So we're still in the first year. This is kind of crazy that all this is happening within the first year. So it also makes you happy to a certain extent, because that means you have a very long way to go, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice that we have a long way to go before this series is going to end. I'm definitely looking forward more to Season 6 than I was what happened with Season 5. As I said in previous episodes, the first half was all right. We got some fillers in there that were unnecessary. They just kept reiterating the characters and what they did over and over and over again, which I did not like in like every single episode, just to kill time, which I really hope they don't do. I get it. You want to do one recap episode, that's fine. First episode's a recap episode of what happened previously. Then after that, we don't need character sprites again. We don't need what their quirks are again. Any of that. I think your fan base has been here long enough to know what they do. No one's starting off in Season 6 is basically what I'm saying. If we're at Season 6, you can bet we probably watched Season 1 to 5 already. There's a good chance we've already watched it. So you gotta keep that in mind, hopefully. Because if they do it again, I'm going to complain about it. 100% I'm going to complain about it. I mean, if you look at this episode, the amount of sheer time that was wasted in this episode explaining quirks and who they were under for the work studies, that's like half the episode, and I'm not even exaggerating. So we got like maybe, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes, and then introduction. Introduction takes up about 2 minutes. Then we had about 7 or 8 minutes of them showing off their quirks, again, as like the final recap. Then we get a little bit about Eri, a little bit about Paranormal Liberation Front in there as well. And then kind of the end credits where they are all going to the city that Shigaraki had the huge fight in to rescue people. So there's going to be some sort of big battle there between the Liberation Front and Heroes. So that is going to be where it takes place for Season 6. I don't believe that was a preview for next episode, because as I said, I'm like 99% confident this is the season finale. So yeah, it'll probably be a year or two before we get that. And then obviously you have the outro as well. So I mean, as I said, we've got maybe half of the episode was actual useful content. There was a good 7 to 8, 10-minute chunk in the episode that it was just unnecessary. As I said, we know the quirks, we know their abilities, we don't need to show them off. Have Class 1A, 1B to get together. They mentioned Class 1B, but they didn't show up. 1B was a large part of the season, and I'm fine with that, if they want to put those characters in there, but, bring them to the party. They were half the season. Have them have conversations about, their quirks getting stronger. what they've been doing in school, their social lives, things along those lines. You know, throw some character development in there instead of just kind of recycling the same thing over and over again. It's getting stale, and most of the season was stale, minus the last several episodes. I'm thankful we got the villain arc that we did. I wish it was longer, and I wish we got, you know, more information on other villains. We got nothing on Dabi, nothing on Spinner, really, nothing on Mr. Compress. It was primarily Toga twice and Shigaraki, and I left me wanting more. It definitely left me wanting more info for the background character, to the point where I am debating to go find where it lines up with the manga so I don't spoil it, just to get more information on it. Or maybe I'll just go check out another YouTuber that actually reviews the manga and try to find that section as well. That wouldn't be such a bad thing either. But I think that's where we're going to end it. 8 out of 10, decent season finale. Definitely a nice build up to the next season. Definitely left you wanting a little bit more. Have not watched that new movie yet. Maybe I'll review the movie when it comes out to the U.S. I don't know when that is, or has it come out to the U.S.? I don't know. I'll take a look, because as of right now, I have nothing left to review. So you're still going to be getting your meme videos. I get a couple hundred views on those usually, so yes, I plan on continuing the meme videos. But reviews is what I started this channel with. It's what I want to continue to do. So if you have a show you want me to review, or even a movie, I'll review some movies, you know, Spirited Away or something. I'll rewatch it, review the movie. That'll be a little bit longer review. Keep in mind, if it's an hour plus long, you're probably looking at a 12 to 15 minute video. It's not going to be in my standard 10 to 12 minute range. But that's where we'll leave it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, feel free to comment down below what you'd like to see for future anime and cartoon related videos. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.